What's up guys? Matt, Legacy 4x4. Behind me we have my Dodge rock car that I'm rebuilding for like the upteenth time, but this time we're going to weld the rear with the positive traction in it. Okay, so you may be wondering why I'm going to weld the rear with the positive traction in it. That's because the Sterling 10.5 posies are basically garbage. They don't lock up off-road no matter what you really do, so I'm just not going to use it. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to weld it. That way the positive traction doesn't even have to work. It can just, always be locked. So the plan is to take it out, weld it, and shove it right back in as a complete carrier and not do anything else. It's a super easy way to get that sweet, sweet traction off-road, and it's going to be cheaper than doing absolutely anything else, so that's what I'm going to go with. I've said this before, but I got a bad HOA and I'm in my backyard again, so my nice, trusty 2-inch thick piece of pine is gonna be my welding table. Don't judge, it'll all work out. But besides that, we got the limited slip, we're looking at it. Before I break down my limited slip and take these bolts off and pull the top limited slip off and pull the clutch packs out, I'm gonna go ahead and tack the spider gears together. I'm doing that way I know I have the preload between all of the spider gears correct, and there's enough force clamping down from the case of the limited slip onto those spider gears. That way I'm not just loosely welding spider gears together and then have an incorrect preload, which can cause errors down the line. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack the spider gears together through the little opening holes, and then once those are tacked together, I'm gonna take the LSD apart and then I'm gonna fully weld it. A quick side note, make sure you mark or at least know the orientation of your limited slip. That way you can put it in the exact same spot back into the carrier once everything's nice and welded. Alright, so here we're focusing. You can see where I made one of my tacks right there in the upper left corner of the spider gears. That's just so that those gears stay together enough to have enough preload on the bolts to keep the same torque rating on the limited slip. So that's what those are there for. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off and fully weld it. I should also mention I'm going to fully weld it in steps. I'm gonna go put some fat tacks on both the upper and lower side of those spider gears. Put the limited slip case back on, make sure it's nice and tight and still has all the clearances it needs. And then I'll come back and do the full max penetration weld, and then we'll put it back together for one last time, shove it back in the car, and we should be good to go. Well, looks like everything's gonna fit back in place. I'm going to go ahead and preheat this, and then we'll get some final welds in. We'll try and keep the heat up and do it all in one. I'm gonna take all of the spider gears out of the carrier, set the carrier to the side, weld the spider gears on the side so I can get a nice angle on everything, and then reinstall everything. Same thing goes with taking the top off. Make sure you keep all the clutches in the right order. Even though you're not gonna use the clutch packs anymore, it's nice to have the correct distance in between everything. Alright, now we're going to let that air cool. No need to cool it any faster, that'll just make it brittle. We're going to let it air cool. Once it's nice and cooled, we're going to go ahead and put the clutch packs back on, rebuild the LSD, put everything back to carrier, and we'll shove it back in. Alright, so as you can tell, those are what the welds between the spider gears look like. I welded on 220 at max penetration with half speed on a 50-foot extension cord. Either way, it melted the rings. As you can see, there's clear penetration between each of those spider gears, so we're going to be looking good. This is never going to break. I absolutely promise you, no matter what you do, something else will break before this Lincoln locker will break. So with that being said, let's let this air cool, and then we'll come back when we're reinstalling everything. Alright guys, so I got the diff back in. I was going to show you putting the diff back in, but my camera ran out of battery as soon as I was making the time lapse, so I didn't even record it. So no, I'm not going to take it out just to show you guys putting it back in. You just reverse the order that you do taking it apart. So got that all shoved back in, about to shove the axle halves back in, and then clean up the diff cover and reinstall the diff cover. After that, we'll have this nice project all buttoned up. Alright, so we got everything done, everything's buttoned up. I'm going to give you guys a nice visual representation of what the locker actually is going to do. As you can see, both wheels spin the same direction, and if I stop one, the other one stops, and vice versa. And that's what it is, just unlimited traction. They're always going to be locked together. It's really that simple. Two quick side notes, don't mind the crazy hair, it's the morning, and don't mind these, single shear coilover upper mounts. I've got towers in the mail, these are just for testing weight. They're gonna get changed out, don't worry, that video is probably already released before you see this one. So, without further ado, we're gonna close this one out, and I will see you guys next time.